Right. Hello everybody. Welcome into the NinjaTrader Ecosystem webinar room. Before we get started with today's presentation, I would like to take a moment to test for picture and sound. So if you can hear my voice and if you can see the TouchZone DayTrading image on the screen, please type a Y into the room and that'll confirm that you can hear my voice and see the screen. All right, thank you all for confirming that. Looks like I'm coming in loud and clear. And thank you all for joining us in our webinar today. My name is Ryan Lai, and I work at the NinjaTrader Business Development Team here in the Denver, Colorado office. We have a very special event for you today with Steph T of TouchZone DayTrading. Before we go any further, I'm going to put a quick poll into the room, and the question is, are you currently using NinjaTrader? And this will help me get a gauge of the type of user in today's attendance, and it'll also allow me to read over a disclosure very quickly. All right, go ahead and click on the type of user you are for NinjaTrader. I'm going to put up this disclosure for a moment. And I'd like to mention to everybody in the room that it is important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodities futures contracts. You should carefully consider whether such trading is going to be suitable for you, and this will depend on your specific circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all of the funds that you deposit with your broker, and you can even incur losses beyond these amounts. If you have questions, you can always inquire to our risk disclosure. I'm posting the link into the room now. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation nor a recommendation for any services, but simply educational in nature. This presentation is being presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. If you have brokerage questions for the NinjaTrader brokerage, they should be directed to the brokerage directly. You can do that by emailing brokerage.sales@ninjatrader.com. You can also call 312-262-1289. All right, looks like most people had a chance to fill out the poll. And in the lead, it looks like we have lifetime license key members. So it's great to see people that are committed to NinjaTrader also being interested in our third-party vendors. And then there's quite a few people in the room who are currently not yet using NinjaTrader. So I'm going to post a link into the room where you can download a copy of NinjaTrader for free. And you can follow along and get started with NinjaTrader. For those of you who are curious about trading live with the NinjaTrader platform, I'm posting a platform purchase link here. All right, so with that being said, we are very excited for this unique event today in which Steph T will demonstrate some simple yet powerful ways to determine the trend and how to benefit from support and resistance zones that are clearly and accurately located on the charts. So thank you again for your attendance, and without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome into the NinjaTrader room, Steph T. Go ahead and take it away, Steph.
Through loud and clear? All right, great. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you NinjaTrader for sponsoring this event. We greatly appreciate it. I know everybody has probably had a long day, so I will be as concise as I can in this presentation. Real quick on our disclaimer, same as Ryan had mentioned, this webinar is for educational purposes only. I'm sure you all have seen the CFTC Rule 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. And I'll leave this here for you to glance over for a moment. So my name is Stephanie. I'm with TouchZone DayTrading, and I am the trade room moderator. I have nearly a decade of experience in trading on the NinjaTrader platform, coaching and training new traders. I have collaborated and developed some of the top NinjaTrader tools, and I have experience in trading futures, options, and ETNs. And that's me. I love to trade, and I love to help others trade, and that's why I'm here today. So for the agenda today, this will be a little bit scripted because I tend to talk a lot. So this will hopefully keep me on track and to the point. I'd like to first find out a little bit about you. And then we're going to go over some back to basics training education. We'll review some challenges that traders have in this market, and I'll present some solutions for traders. Finally, we'll go over the TouchZone tools and methods. And there is an awesome offer, as you can well expect, at the end, and you must be here to receive it. So let's go ahead and go over a quick poll so I can find out a little bit about my audience here. 2 or 3 questions. If you could just tell me where you are in your trading experience. Are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced? It'll give me an idea of what to, and you should have a poll if you don't mind answering that for me. That would be great. It should be on your screen now. I'll leave it up here just for a minute or two. Okay, it looks like we have the majority of you as an intermediate. Thank you for your answers. If you could also now tell me which markets do you mostly trade? And this is the assumption that most of you are trading futures. So I'd like to know, are you trading the ES, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the Dow, crude or gold futures? A lot of NASDAQ traders. ES. We'll leave it there for another minute or so. Yes, and I'm sure this is being recorded. And I will try to get to answers at the end, questions and answers at the end. I will not probably be answering any questions during the presentation. So if you could just be patient with me. If you do type a question, if you don't mind retyping it at the end of the presentation, that would be wonderful. Okay, it looks like the majority of our traders here today are trading the NQ, followed by the ES, and then crude. So those are my 3 favorites. Okay, and then finally, last question. And this again, just thank you for this. It helps me get an idea of our audience and what to focus on. What type of trader are you? Do you consider yourself a counter trend trader? And again, please check the poll. A trend trader, or do you like it in a sideways market, or what we call a ping pong trader? Great. Ryan says that the event is recorded and sent to all registrants. Thank you. Thanks, Ryan. Okay. Awesome. It looks like the majority of you here are trend traders, followed by counter trend and a little bit of people that like the sideways choppy market. Great. Wonderful. Thank you for that information. It is very helpful, and I do appreciate your participation. So back to our agenda. So don't forget, you need to stay to the end. I know I will try to keep this exciting as I can in order to receive the awesome offer. So what is zone-to-zone trading? Probably all of you are asking. When price action meets resistance or supply, sellers, or what you call the ask. That will present possible selling opportunities. When price action meets support, demand, buyers, and the bid, again, these are all different terms for the same thing. Support, demand, buyers, and the bid. Possible buying opportunities. Whether you're trend trading or counter trend trading, these zones are very important to see clearly where to enter the trade as a seller or a buyer. What moves the markets? Anyone know? Why do the markets move? Who wants to try to answer that question for me? Good. Supply and demand, institutions, buy and sell at the market, aggressiveness, buy and sell imbalance, volume, demand. Awesome answers. Thank you so much. Thanks for your participation. Supply and demand. Sellers and buyers, the ask and the bid. Support is a price area where traders expect buying to occur. This is where the bulls want to step in. Resistance is a price area where traders expect selling to occur. And this is where the bears want to step in. Trading from the zone. Buying at support and selling at resistance is trading with the crowd. It's trading with the big guys. That's what they do. And again, that can be done in a trending market and in an overextended market when you want to counter trend. When these zones are clearly and accurately located on your chart, they will become self-fulfilling prophecies. Combine these zones with good technical analysis. They are very smart risk-reward trade locations. It is an essential part of building a great trading plan. So the problem is defining these respective zones can be difficult and time-consuming. They're based on time, technical studies, not to mention just a few, Fibonacci, volume profile, pivots, trend points, and much more, and risk tolerance. And again, you need a good strategy. Buying blindly at support or selling blindly at resistance is a recipe for disaster. So you really need to have a good trading strategy involved, and then combined with these zones and good technical studies, you can make a good trading plan. Okay, so at TouchZone DayTrading, we have a solution. We've developed TZ TouchZones. They're calculated using a unique combination and confluence of Fibonacci, volume profile, specialty pivots, POC or point of controls, value areas, measured moved, rotations, and trend points, and more. Effective technical analysis plus TZ TouchZones equals a consistent trading plan. We use dynamic trend channels, trend lines, volume analysis and expectations, range analysis and expectations, accumulated delta and divergence, and order flow at its simplest form. I don't know about you, but when I first started learning order flow, I could not wrap my head around it. We have taken order flow and put it into a simple, easy to read formula on the chart. This is an example of what our charts look like. You'll see our zones clearly marked in red for selling, resistance areas. Our zones that do become balance areas will turn gray. They will not disappear. That was very important to us when we developed the zone indicator. It's important to see, I think, after the day is done and you want to review your trades, where exactly the zones were, where you entered, why you entered. So just because this zone gets violated, which it will after it gets beaten up, it will still stay on your chart and simply turn to a neutral or balanced color. The diamonds and the dots that you see on these areas are actually what we call our resting orders, our order flow, to see when sellers are stepping in, when buyers are stepping in, where the resting orders are prior to entering into the trade. Okay, so simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. I believe in that. I believe in keeping it simple. There are thousands of indicators out there. We feel we have taken the cream of the crop, the indicators that are not repetitive to the others. They give you some sound information to make good trading decisions. Trading is not simple, and I do not mean to say that to anyone. It's probably the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And I have 5 children. So that means a lot to say that, because children are hard to raise. But trading is not simple. But at TouchZone DayTrading, we simply trade zone to zone. That is our motto. Now we do use a little tool from our friends at Shark Indicators. I'll give them a little shout out to Shark. I actually helped develop this tool. I love it, and I would not trade without it. This is called Heat Map Pro. I want to give you a quick glance at it. It will let you know when the markets that you trade, if you put the correlated markets inside heat map, it will let you know when they are trending in the same direction. So this is a picture or a sample of Heat Map Pro when the Russell, the ES, the NQ, and the YM are all correlated in the same direction to the upside. Now, does anyone know what trading with correlation is? So again, back to Matt, thank you, correlation confluence, good. So trading with correlation. The definition is a statistical measure of how 2 or more markets move in relation to each other. Correlations are used in advanced portfolio management by trading professionals. It's very important. When you see markets that are normally correlated, that normally trend together, going in different directions, it is a great sign that we're going to have a sideways choppy market. So if you are not good in sideways choppy markets, you stay out of the market when this heat map is not green or red. It will turn gray when the market is flat or sideways or mixed. In other words, we saw a little bit of mixed early today where one market was red and one market was green. I think it was the Russell was green, the NASDAQ was red. And the ES and the YM were struggling and just going sideways. So we had a mixed market early, and then that nice downfall came and heat map was bloody red for that beautiful move down that we had. Yeah, anything you can chart with NinjaTrader, you can, if you have a feed for Forex and you can chart it with NinjaTrader, you absolutely can put that in heat map, and our zones will also work on that when they come. Our zones are currently only available for crude, ES, and NQ. We're bringing them in to more of the markets, those three that were the favorites in this room. Each week we're bringing in introducing a new market, so we're slowly bringing the zones to all of these major markets. But yes, Forex, it will work with Forex, the heat map. So the heat map, what it does for me, again, back to simplicity, it's simple and easy to read. I can be trading the ES, but be watching the NQ, the YM, and the Russell, which is RTY now, on the heat map to know what they're doing and in which direction, what percent they are off their open or close. It's just very simple, small, and concise. It doesn't take up a lot of real estate on my charts, on my monitors. So with heat map, you can be the first to spot a trend, avoid uncertain market conditions, simplify your trading screens, and know at a glance where the markets are. So that's my little plug for heat map. You can purchase heat map. It's a one-time purchase fee, and it is available at our website, TouchZone DayTrading. And that is, we'll be putting that link in the room at the end of the presentation. Yes, currently heat map, thank you for that question. I did see that, and I want to specify that. Currently heat map only works for NinjaTrader 7. It will be coming out with NinjaTrader 8 very soon, we hope. Now our zones work for both NinjaTrader 7 and 8 currently. TouchZones, TouchZones. Okay, so now I went over a lot of information. Don't panic. Don't do that. You don't have to do this alone. We're here. We have TouchZone Trade Room, which is a virtual trade room online. We run it every morning, Monday through Friday, pre-market 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Most of our trading is done by 11:30, and we stay for questions and answers after that until noon. And that is all Eastern time. So in the TouchZone Trade Room, we'll go over what we have to offer you. We have the necessary resources that all traders can benefit from. We do a pre-market top-down chart analysis of the major markets, including ES, NASDAQ, and crude. We uncover signs of upcoming trends or sideways trading days by the use of that heat map that I showed a couple slides ago. We review and discuss current news and events and their possible impact on the market. The observation of the current state of the markets after the European session did its thing prior to the U.S. market opening. On our charts in the trade room, you will see our proprietary support and resistance zones, and you do have the opportunity to have them on your chart as well through a monthly subscription. We use trend lines and trend channels as our main focus of trade entries, a combination of trading at the zone with a trend line or trend channel bounce or break, and seeing order flow at that spot is the recipe that we use for great trade location. Okay, so TZ TouchZones, back to them for a minute. This is an example of what our zones look like. I showed you on an earlier screen. And I wish I could blow this up, but I can't. In the morning when you come in, these zones will already be on your chart. They are plotted on NinjaTrader pre-market. The blue is considered support, where the sellers where the buyers are sitting. They are buying opportunities. If we get through a zone, they will turn neutral color and balance, only to go to the next zone, and as you can see, a nice spot for a sell. If it's in conjunction with a trend line, a trend channel, and good order flow, we would take a nice sell opportunity at the zone. Back to support, again, it was once a buying opportunity, did become balance, but it still gave us a good opportunity for a buy, and then back up into the resistance area of an extreme overextended area. It is an automated zone placement indicator that goes right on your chart. This tool will plot support and resistance zones on your chart pre-market before the market opens. This is never after the fact, and they do not repaint. The only thing they do is change colors so that you see that the zone has been violated. Color-coded for easy to see buy and sell location opportunities. Okay, so let me take a look at the questions that have come in. This is the time I'd like to go over some questions, and then we will take a peek at one of the charts for today on a screen share. So, Mark, we use a combination. The charts that you'll see in the trading room are either a backtestable Renko bar, which gives a true high and low with a wick, or a 5-minute bar. We have both schools of thought on clean price action, not using the minutes, but it's very important to look at what the majority of traders look at when you're trading. John, do you use heat map and CL? So, John, for CL, if you have, you can use heat map, you can add CL to any heat map, but you have to make sure you find the right markets. And the questions are going kind of fast, so please repeat if I don't get to you, if I miss it. You can use heat map for CL. If you have a feed for, bear with me one second. If you have a feed for Brent crude, that's a good correlated market. Often CL will trend with ES, but it's not always that way, so you have to be careful. I have a heat map that I just put some of the instruments in that I like to keep an eye on, but I don't necessarily use the correlated portion. So I have a separate heat map that I just put like crude, gold, and instruments like that in. We do have a couple traders in our room that trade Forex that are doing really well with heat map and the use of some pairs that are traded with the US dollar, and they are actually doing really well in using futures currencies, the sixes, 6A, 6B, 6C, 6E. Right. So John, my system is not automated. Nope. The only automation that I do use is I use a trade management tool for entering and placing my stops and targets. Yep. Yes. So when a zone has been broken through or violated, it will change to a balanced color. And that is the user's choice. On my chart, it turns to green. I'm sorry, gray. So my buy zones are blue, my sell zones are red. And after a zone has been violated from both sides, it turns to gray. No, Mark, I did not develop the Renko bars. No. You're welcome, John. Okay. If I missed your question because they kind of scrolled through fast, let's see. So no, currently our zone subscription only covers 4 markets. That is the Russell, the NASDAQ, the ES, and crude. We will be introducing more markets, but right now those are the 4 markets that the zone indicator will plot automatically on your charts. Okay, I'm scrolling through. Hold on one. I'm sorry, they're going by so fast. Yeah, I'm gonna be showing uh, an ES trade that we took today, this morning in the room. Right, so you know what? That's a good question. Someone asked, yes, Forex can be done if you can trade chart Forex on your NinjaTrader. As far as the heat map goes, John, then Forex, yes, but zones, no. No, we do not have zones for the Forex market yet. Aaron, we do look at the YM, but I do not personally trade the YM, but we do keep an eye on it. Oh, back to, I see that question again. That's good. So defining a resistance area that's more important than another. You know, the best thing I can answer to that is this. These resistance zones are only on the chart because they had significant confluence with many things involved in the algorithm. So again, like I said, it's not only about Fibonacci, it's not only about value areas or point of control or pivots. It's got to have confluence and a combination. So what makes one zone more important than the other? To be honest, it's going to be at that moment when you hit a zone, order flow comes in, and you're at a trend channel or trend line. So it's a combination of, our methodology is built on, like I said before, you do not buy or sell zones blindly. There needs to be a reason to get in at the zone. So we do trade zone to zone, and you know, it is that simple for me, but when you're first learning it, you need to understand that just because there's a zone there does not mean it's going to hold. Or like someone asked, what makes it more important than the next zone? The decision is what happens when you hit the zone. Do big sellers come in? Do big buyers come in? Are we at a trend channel bounce? Do we have delta divergence, which is another thing that we keep an eye on. So we're looking to see who's more aggressive in the markets, the sellers or the buyers. These are all things that we cover in the room while we're trading. We do not talk about it after the fact. We talk about it before and while it's happening. Yeah, Sally, I'm going to show a chart in just a couple minutes. You're welcome. Did that answer your question, whoever asked about what makes zones more important than the other? And again, we're covering this every day in the room. We are not, TouchZone Day Trading is not looking for huge investments up front to get involved. We are there to educate and teach as we trade. And so we thought about, should there be an upfront for the education that we're going to provide? And I know how hard it is to get started and to get going when you're struggling just having a small account. The other thing that we will be covering over the next couple of weeks is how to grow a small account. There's some really good money management plans and ideas that we're going to share with our trade room members on how to take a 5,000, let's say, dollar account and grow it exponentially over time. So we'll teach some good money management plans in the room. Right. So that's why we didn't ask. We're not asking for any big money up front. We do have a trade room membership plan that we are going to present you a good offer for. YM will be next, Aaron. Yep. YM is probably going to be in the works this week for next week's trade room. Again, the 4 major markets that you saw on my heat map are the ones we are focused on, plus crude and gold. So it's ES, NQ, RTY, which is the new Russell, YM, CL, and GC. Yes, Dimitri, GC. Yep. So they aren't there today, so I just want to, full disclosure, we do not have the zones on the YM today, but I assure you by next week we will have YM. So in the room, we primarily have just 3 or 4 charts showing, and then because you can only view one monitor at a time, I will go back and forth between which market we have a trade on. So I'll expand the chart so you can see it nice and wide, especially when there's a trade setting up, and we'll focus right on that chart. I do not like to flip-flop back and forth, especially if we have a trade going on, until the trade is safe. And when I say safe, we do use a great money trade management program, and you can find that on our website, TouchZoneDayTrading.com, under charting tools. Again, I don't know if any of you know me. I think some of you do. I used to be with Shark. They're a great bunch of guys, and they have a couple really awesome tools. I did not see the sense in reinventing them, and one of them is Blackbird. So once we have trade entry and trade safe, and we're just trailing the price action with the Blackbird trade management, then we'll flip back and forth to other charts. But we do tend to focus on the one we have a trade on. But I minimize and maximize the charts. Try to keep it neat and orderly. Yes, I can. I'm not going to go over the rules for heat map here today, but I do review it almost every day in the room. And by the way, we do have consultations, and I'll be sharing that with you in just a moment. If you did want a one-on-one consultation about how to learn how to use heat map, if you already own it, we can provide you one-on-one sessions for that. Okay. All right. So let me, a few of you, I know we've got more questions, but I'm starting to run out of time. Let me do a quick screen share. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Number 3. Here we go. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? So this is our website. Great. Thank you. Good. So this is TouchZone Day Trading. I am not going to flip through the menus because I don't want to do anything to bog down Omnovia. But here you can find out more about our trade room. And don't go there just yet because I don't want to lose you on this presentation. In a few moments, you're going to see what our awesome offer is. Here you'll find out more about our trade room. Under About Us, you'll find out more about us. Under Book Consultation, someone was asking earlier if I can teach more about heat map. If you feel like you need a one-on-one session with any of those tools that we talked about, we do one-on-one sessions. Under charting tools, these are the tools that are available. We have 3 different trade room options. You can come in for 1 week and see if you like it. There's no long-term contract needed. If you don't like it after 1 week, you can cancel, no problem. You can do it by the month. You get a better rate when you do it by the month. And you can also do it by the quarter, and quarterly is the best rate. And then if you just want to send us a note, there's a Get in Touch tab. And by the way, we have a trader survey. If you would like to get some feedback and give us some more information about you, go ahead and take our trader survey down here. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so bear with me 1 second. I'm going to bring over okay. Now, I did not take any trades after 11 o'clock. I think I was done by 11. No, I was actually done by 10. That's right. Let's just take a peek. We took a winning trade in crude, 1 loser in crude, and a nice winner in ES. Okay, now the chart, our dynamic trend channels, which we are still working on, they are not available as of yet. They print automatically. So my first signal, we actually had a slight breakout right and we took a little heat on this trade. We were at the zone and we caught that nice fall right to the next zone. Now, by the way, we have a real-time on the chart. We had a bunch of sellers come in, and I'm just going to put a little ellipse, and I talked about it in the room. It was happening right here. Now, I was really done for the day. I had a nice green account for the day, and I did not want to get caught up because I had a lot of preparation to do for today's webinar. But we had sellers trapped in this area at this zone. It was a beautiful reason to consider a long. And I think a couple of our members did take it. Again, I did not, but we kept the room open and just moderated through it. And off the zone with a bunch of sellers trapped right up to the next zone. So you're not seeing our trend channels and our trend lines because they have gone away. They do not stay on the chart. It gets way too messy. Yes, Aaron, I do believe there is a recording coming out to you. So our order flow is identified by, on the chart, there'll be chart markers to show you where there will be resting buyers and sellers. And they are larger than average. So obviously we have buyers and sellers at every price line, but larger than average buyers and sellers will print on the chart. Now they are real-time only, and unfortunately I do not have them on this chart because I did have to restart Ninja for this presentation. So they went away. So when you have a real-time indicator that tracks something like order flow, you are not going to see them on the chart after you restart. I entered right here at this. This was my entry at that bar. Again, I took a little heat and I was a little aggressive on that, but we felt that with all of this congestion, the breakout was going to be pretty fierce. Now, conversely, on the crude, our crude chart was beautiful. Did anyone trade crude today and get beat up during the early part of the session? Any crude traders in here? Our tools and our zones told us to stay out. I am not a great scalper, and I'm not good in sideways chop, especially with crude. So we talked about that in the room today. It was a great time to stay out of crude. If you're not quick on your profits, yeah, it was very choppy. And trust me, I'm saying this out loud, knowing that we've got trade members here. We talked about it during the fact that crude was not a good trading instrument. That's why we flipped right over to ES. I love trading crude, but ES was beautifully overextended. It was net long, and we saw some divergence in our delta going on up here. We broke the trend line ever so slightly. It was a trend channel that was printed here. We took a little heat up to the midline, and then it fell off. So you'll get to see this every day. You'll see our losers as well as our winners. Yeah, you can just watch our performance in the room, Tony. So the bottom here is our range analysis and our volume analysis. John, I always look at 5 minutes because I know that a majority of people are looking at 5 minutes. So I have a couple different, I have first of all 5 monitors. So I do have other size charts, as I'm sure many of you do as well. I'm not just looking at a 5 minute, let's just be honest there. But a 5 minute is a good, it's not too big, it's not too small. You know, 1 minute is way too small for me, and 30 minutes is way too big for me. So it just depends. You got to keep your risk reward in the back of your mind at all times. And I can handle the size and range of a 5 minute. Right. Yes. Is it tailgate? Yes. We are planning them as they come. Before the trades appear, we're actually talking about location of entry, location of stops, and profit targets. Most of our traders trade in lots of 3, but I can't speak for everyone, and I also trade in lots of 3. So Tom, I don't have the NQ chart up. I needed to keep my Ninja pretty tight and clean for this presentation, so we didn't have any mishaps with Omnovia. If if you like, I can send you a screenshot, email me. I have no problem doing that. Okay, I'm trying to see if I missed any. No, Emma, we do have the smallest is a 1-week trial. I'm sorry, it's not a trial. It's a 1-week membership. So we do not have any free trials. I'm sorry. At the same time, we do not ask for $5,000 up front either. Yeah, no, this is strictly for NinjaTrader. I love NinjaTrader. I think they're an excellent company. I have never had, all of our tools have been developed for NinjaTrader, and so we're pretty happy with them, and don't have any plans to switch. You know, again, in the trade room, we're all looking at the same, no matter what charting platform you use, you're looking at the same price action. But NinjaTrader, for me, as not only an educator and a trainer, as a trader, has been sound and stable and easy to learn, easy to work with. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about this program. Yeah, the zones are ready for Ninja 8. And the only thing that is not ready for Ninja 8 is the heat map. They're still working on that. Matt, the zones are, and I'll get into that in just a moment, but the zones are a subscription. Right. Okay, so let me minimize this. Someone asked to see the website URL again. So here it is, TouchZoneDayTrading.com. And Melanie, I'm going to go over that in just a moment. Peter, stay with me. Don't go anywhere yet because you might want to see this. All right, so I am going to go back over to the slides. So can you just let me know if you see on my screen the TZ TouchZone Automated Zone Placement Indicator? Okay, perfect. Thank you, everyone. By the way, if I did not get your question, please do not hesitate to email me or go to our website and fill out the Get in Touch form. Give me your name, email, and your question, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. All right, so back to, so why you're all here. Yep, we are nearing the end, so I better get to it. Okay, so the NinjaTrader webinar special for today. This is what I asked you all to stay for. Normally, our trade room monthly membership is $149 per month. And again, that does include Monday through Friday. We open at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we're there at least until noon. Now, the only days that we won't be open are major holidays, and I do reserve the right to be sick once in a while. So until we have another backup trade room moderator, I'm pretty healthy, but you know, if I needed to take a day off, the zones, of course, would still work. We would probably still open the room, but I may not be on the mic. But yeah, so have to have that disclaimer out there. But normally we will have the room open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern till 12 noon Eastern. Now the TZ TouchZones is going to be a monthly subscription, and they will be at $99 a month. Now, this webinar is really our launch. Our room has only been open to the public for 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks now. So we started with a small beta test group in Skype, and then we moved over to an official full-fledged GoToWebinar room, and here's what we are offering. And it's only going to be available to the first 20 membership signups. So to the first 20 membership signups today, you'll receive both of these for $149. So basically, you're going to get the TZ TouchZones subscription at no cost on your computer, not just watching them on my screen. Now that will be for the life. It's a $99 savings, and it will be for the life of your monthly membership as long as you continue it. So as long as you stay a member, you will get the TouchZone on indicator on your computer at no charge. If you cancel, then that deal goes away. So if you want to just purchase the zones and you don't want to be part of the room, that's fine too. It is a $99 monthly subscription. So for the life of your continued monthly trade room membership, you will only pay $149 for the combination of the two, but that is only available to the first 20 people that sign up. That link is clickable, they tell me. So you can try to click it, it should take you to our page where you can buy this special. What you're going to check out for is just the monthly trade room, and you will, if you're one of the first 20. Now, if you're 21, it will there'll be a warning that the monthly zones are all sold out. So if you click this link, tell me if that's clickable. Okay, plus, I'm sorry, Ryan just also put it in chat. Okay, Sally, you'll need to email me and I can give you more information, or the best way to, it's hard to explain trade management in a webinar like this. It just depends on the market and the location of your entry. No, we do not have an annual subscription at this time. The best trade room membership is quarterly. Now, I did not set up the monthly zones for the quarterly, but if you do purchase the quarterly trade room membership, just email me and I will make sure you also get the zones. Okay, so again, as long as you're a member and you don't let your membership lapse, you'll continue to get the zones indicator on your computer at no charge. Great. Now, in addition, and this kind of popped up without me knowing, those members will also receive a 50% off coupon code for a one-on-one consultation. So if you feel like you do better with a little bit more one-on-one intense training on not only the zones, but maybe the heat map if you already have the heat map, the any one of the tools that we sell on the website, you can purchase a consultation with me. I do all my consultations, training consultations in the afternoon because we trade in the morning. So the 20 people that sign up through this webinar will also get 50% off of those consultations. So I'm sorry, I'm going to give you the link for that. There is also a strategy session because I am a firm believer that everyone has to have a strategy and a trading plan that fits their personality. You know, when we ask that question, are you a trend trader? Are you a counter trend trader? Are you a scalper? Do you like sideways markets? These things are really important. If you are not a scalper, and we're scalping in the room, and that doesn't feel comfortable to you, you're not quick to make the entry and exit, you hesitate, you're going to have a problem. So it's important that a good strategy is built for you, your personality, your risk tolerance, and we can help you do that. So the 20 members that join will also get a 50% discount on one consultation with me, right?